Mark, this was probably the longest time you've had to prepare for an opponent all season. How do you utilize all of that time, but keep kind of a sense of normalcy with the group too?
We rolled out the game plan today. We'll do a little bit more work tomorrow. I do think it's important once we get the information out to reel it back in so that the guys are playing with a looseness and a confidence that you need to play well in these situations.
What are some keys, regardless of the specific game plan against New Orleans, but some keys for you all in terms of how you guys approach executing what you need to do in this game?
The biggest key today was just trying to get a high-intensity practice in, which we did. Our guys that play most of our minutes have not played since Thursday and won't play again. So it's a 6-day separation between the two games, and today was the perfect day to really burn it out. And I thought we did that because those guys were breathing, and we get some good rhythm back. So I thought that was important.
New Orleans has played you tough. What did they do right to give you guys some problems?
They're good. Good team, good defensive team, especially. They've got great positional length. They've got good point of attack defense. They've got good schemes. They're well coached, competitive. They've played us really tough. So obviously going to be a challenge for us going down there.
You've got a lot of guys that have never had playoff or play-in experience. What can guys learn, even if, no matter how long this run goes, what can guys learn in a situation like this?
Just the feeling of it. I don't think you really know it until you go through it. But I think one thing that's important, we've never been in the play-in. A couple guys have been in the playoffs, but most of our guys haven't been here. But these guys have played in big games before. They've played in big games internationally. They've played in big games in college. Guys have played in Final Fours. And this season we've played in some games that have a little bit more of a built-in distraction. The national TV games come to mind. There have been games during the season that have felt like they've had some weight, especially recently as we've been trying to fight to get in. And so it's not all or nothing. It's not like, you go from never playing a big game to playing in a big game. But it is different. And, the only way to learn from it is to experience it. We'll go out there and do the best we can, and then we'll learn the lessons regardless of the outcome.
You even guys that do have some playoff experience like Shea, he has playoff experience, but not as the leader of a team. It's a whole different team, obviously, now. So you got some guys learning at different levels or different roles, I guess.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great opportunity for us. It's a great opportunity for the guys. Great opportunities to learn about ourselves, see what our best punch looks like in a high-stakes game. But, Shea, your statement may be true, but Shea's also played, 3 seasons worth of being kind of the lead guy on a team. And, that experience counts and will scale in this game as well.
When you're game planning for them, Ingram missed 3 of the 4 games. McCollum missed a couple of the games against you. How much are you looking back at those past matchups between you guys when the teams are quite a bit different?
Yeah, a good amount. I think there's a lot of relative stuff there. You learn those guys' individual games. You learn the spots that they try to put, that their team tries to put those guys in. And I think the defensive schemes, against us are going to be pretty similar. It was similar regardless of personnel. You definitely have a sense of what they're trying to get done on the defensive end of the floor, and allows us to get prepared for that. But obviously, Wednesday night's a new game. It's going to have its own life as well.
A big part of their defense, Herb Jones, a lot's has been made and is going to be made about kind of his matchup with Shea. I know it's not like anyone guards Shea one-on-one, but what makes Herb a special defender?
Good defender, competitive, smart, good positional length. But I think the thing that stood out the most about how they've guarded us, and specifically Shea, has just been, it's a team defense. They've got Valanciunas really high when he's in the game trying to take the ball out of his hands. They double team Shea more than anybody that we've seen this season, both with their bigs and guard to guard. And so they're definitely doing it with the cavalry. It's not just one guy.
You got 2 guys that played in Game 7, which is, I guess, the closest thing we've got to what you're going to see Wednesday night.
Yep.
How valuable is that particular experience in Game 7?
Same thing. I think you can ask those guys. I think it's more the cumulative effect of all the experiences. Those series, Game 6 in that series was just as much of a win or go home as Game 7 was, because we were down 3-2 and we needed to win that one to extend the series. And so they felt, like I said, they've felt this before in different ways, but this will be a different experience for our team. And, we have to look at it with excitement for the opportunity that we have and the challenge that we have in front of us. Shea and Lou, certainly give us some backbone as a team, not only because their experience, that season with the playoffs, but their experiences here. I mean, they've played a lot of minutes and are our most tenured players, both from a minute standpoint and a time standpoint.
Brandon Ingram has kind of a unique skill set that challenges a lot of defenses. What's the key to kind of neutralizing that?
He's tough. He's the length that he plays with. He plays over the top of you, and like a lot of the great offensive players in the league, a lot of the stuff that you're willing to give up to most players, he can burn you on, and that's the sign of a guy that's pretty good. So, we have to be really, really tight. We got to make him earn everything. Same with McCollum. That's really the game plan against any team. It's make them earn everything, make it hard. How you do that is different for every team and different for every player, and that's our challenge with Ingram.
What does it mean to you as a guy who really helped build some of these guys up from a very young age? Now you're here, you have this opportunity, and you walked with these guys every step of the way. What does it mean to you to be in this place right now?
I think it's important to understand we're still young, and this is not an end point. This is another opportunity along the way as we build something, like I've said all along, much bigger than, just this season or just this point in time. And so, like I said, I'm really excited to see how we play and see what our best punch looks like in an environment like this. But like I said, win, lose, draw, it's not an end point for us. It's just a marker as we continue to build up the team.
Oshie and Billy Donovan are supposed to play a game on the same day. Have you had any talks with him recently about this experience?
No, not recently. We texted this morning. He congratulated me, which is probably the 5 seconds of his day that he's going to spend not focused on Toronto. So I was extremely proud that I made the agenda.
You said the Pelicans doubled Shea more than any team. How has he handled that, and just confidence in him to make the right decision? And obviously he knows that going in that's going to happen.
Yeah, same thing. They've done it more than any other team, but he's seen that a lot. He's seen one of the things that is a benefit of the position that he's been in our team in the last 3 years is there's not a game plan he hasn't seen. So nothing that they can do on Wednesday is going to put him in an unfamiliar position. He's a great player. Teams have him as the top guy on their scouting report, and they try to neutralize that in different ways, but there are only so many ways to do that, and he's seen all those ways, and we have comfortable attacks against all those things. And the biggest thing that Shea's got that's a competitive advantage for us is trust in his teammates. It's not going to come down to how Shea plays individually. It's about how we can leverage his gravity and whatever they're doing specific to him to unlock the rest of the team. But we've got other guys that are capable of creating and other guys that are capable of finishing those plays.
I assume Dort's going to be the main guy on Ingram.
And McCollum. Yep.
You guys have a couple days to prepare for New Orleans and also kind of get yourselves ready and in your rhythm. What was today like, and what are some of the main objectives?
It was good. I mean, we just, got some good working. We had a couple days to get ready for our next game. So, it was just good to be together and work on the stuff that we got to do for next game.
And then, you're probably going to be matched up with either Ingram or McCollum going into a game where that there's two potential matchups that you might be switching off on. How much do you look forward to that, or what's the mindset there in comparison if it's like one guy?
They're just two good players, that can do a lot with the basketball. So I just honestly, my approach is really just to make everything tough, and that's our approach, really. It's just everything has to be tough, honestly.
Given the way that this team traps Shea, what have you seen from J. Will since he stepped into the starting lineup, and some of the ways that he can help you guys in this game?
He's been doing a good job. I mean, we trust him a lot with the ball. He's really good at just finding guys, finding cuts. So J. Will's always going to keep doing his thing.
Lou, this is a team without much playoff experience, but you and Shea have been in the playoffs, including the Game 7. This is the nearest thing to that. You got to win. What are the similarities, and how much does that experience help you?
I mean, I just feel like just the competition and just the whole vibe in the arena is kind of different. It's going to be different. I mean, I know my experience in the playoff was in the bubble, so we didn't have no fans. But, from base of all the stuff that I watch and I've seen, I just feel like it's going to be like a great experience for us. I mean, I know it's going to be the first time for a lot of guys on our team, but, we're just going to approach it the right way.
What do you remember about that Game 7 against the Rockets?
I remember a lot. I remember we lost. Yeah. But, it it was just, I feel like just this series in general, I feel like I was young. It was my rookie year, and I feel like I just grew every game and just finding myself and what I could do to help the team at that time. So it was just a great experience for me.
One of the best games you ever played, 30 points and great defense on Harden. You look back on that and as sort of a launching pad to giving you confidence in what you could get done in this league?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was young and I was still trying to figure it out my spot in the league, and I feel like this game just gave me a lot of confidence and just open eyes to a lot of people that what kind of play, what kind of stuff I could do on the court. So that really helped.
Lou, to kind of piggyback on that, when you start that playoff series that year, what did you find out you didn't know until you actually were in playoff basketball and had to kind of learn as you went?
A lot. It was so much, honestly. But just like the game plan really, and how like they really scattered us and how we scattered them. It was just like a different, and knowing that you got to play this team so many times, and every scout's gonna be different because you got to adjust to every game. So that was really the biggest thing.
Do you feel like, I mean, you've got so many guys that either have no playoff experience or are rookies, that this has to be a learning experience? I mean, I know it's not a playoff series like you experienced, but like this has to be part of the learning for those guys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's gonna be part of everyone, honestly. Even though I did it, I went my rookie year. It's still gonna be a different experience, honestly. And so I feel like it's just something that we look forward to, and then at the end of everything, it's something that we're gonna learn from.
Lou, you guard scorers of all types, but going against a guy that has a height advantage on you, like a Brandon Ingram, like how do you approach those matchups?
Really, just make everything tough and really stay in front of him. Like you said, he's taller, and I still feel like I've guarded some tall players, some tall guys in this league before. So I mean, my main thing is make everything tough.
You may have not gotten the wins, but for some reason this year you guys have played well on the road. Why is that?
We just really stayed together, and not letting no distraction. We know it's every time we go on the road, it's loud and everybody's against us. So we really just got to stay together, and I feel like we did a good job of that.
So yesterday, you guys went into the stands and signed autographs, even though you weren't playing, and you went through your warm-ups. Who kind of organized that, and what did that mean to you guys to get back to those fans?
It was really us. I mean, we just the great year that we had, and how the fans was behind us, like through ups and downs. So it was just our way to thank them, and really, to spend a lot of time just being with them and signing autograph.
Even though you did have that 7-game series in the bubble, you've never had a postseason with people in the stands. What do you think? What do you think that experience is going to be like?
It's going to be new for me, honestly, and I'm looking forward to it. And especially it's on the road, and everybody's going to be against us. And it's just got to be. We just got to stay really together and go out there and compete.
A lot of the guys that saw extended minutes yesterday have been watching, cheering you guys on through the last couple of weeks. What was that like for you all to be up on the bench all day yesterday and see those guys thrive?
It was great. I mean, just seeing the work that they put in here at practice, and how they go hard, and that they had the opportunity to go play it. Yesterday it was really big, and everybody, I feel like they was all ready, and they approached the game the right way, and I feel like they really did a good job moving the ball.
Lou, when you're preparing for a defensive matchup, which is more important when you're watching film? How the guys operate on offense, or how the guys are defending them? Are you watching the defenders or more the offensive player?
I'm watching everything, honestly. I kind of know what some of the players is going to do offensively, so I watch a little bit more the guy that defends them. But I really watch everything, and at the same time, I just visualize the way that I would guard him.
Jalen, what was that like for you to watch that yesterday afternoon, and just seemed like so many fun moments for the group to finish off the regular season at home?
Oh, it was fun. I think especially because kind of what goes, unseen is that high intensity workouts. Coach mentioned it earlier today, just like, them coming in after we, get in at 2 a.m. and get off flights, coming in the morning and work out and compete the way they've been doing it all year is, a testament to how hard they work. So it was really dope that they got to, get their chance out there and play. And, they played really well, played super hard. It looked like they could play another 2 games. So it was really cool to kind of watch them get their opportunity. And I think they had like 30 assists or something like that in the game. So they really play with each other, which is kind of uncommon, when you're out there with a bunch of guys trying to prove stuff. But I think that's just how our team is. And a result of that, everybody played really well. So it was really dope.
Mark said getting a high-intensity practice for you guys as a team today was really important. What did you feel out there in terms of a rhythm that you guys are trying to develop before Wednesday?
Yeah, I think it was just more getting our win. Obviously, like 2 days off is almost unheard of. Yeah. So just kind of getting our win back and, just trying to go up against each other, get a feel for each other again, kind of having, our rotations back. So it was good. I think that was the hardest I've went personally in a really long time at practice. So it kind of felt a little weird, usually because, you probably have a game tomorrow or something like that. So kind of getting this time off and being able to actually work out and get shots up is cool.
I assume there's going to be times where you're matched up on Brandon Ingram. What are some of the keys to kind of staying with a top scorer like that?
Yeah, you said it, top scorer, just making his life difficult. You kind of seen that through everybody. He makes tough shots. That's what he gets paid to do. So we'll game plan for it and just kind of go out there and compete.
What can you do to take the pressure off Shea? Because he's going to see a lot of double teams on Wednesday night.
Just be aggressive. It's nothing he hasn't seen already. He's going to do his thing per usual. So, just kind of being ready to be in my usual spots and just kind of go from there. I think our biggest thing is just to kind of go out and be aggressive.
Jalen, when it relates to the play-in or the playoff, that's not something you've experienced before. I know you don't know what you don't know, but do you think this is a chance for you and some of the guys that don't really have much in the way of postseason experience to gain a little bit more into the knowledge and understanding what this is like?
That's basically our whole team. So, it'll be a good opportunity for us to kind of go out there. And a lot of this is like our first time. And, being the youngest team, I think this is a really cool and unique experience for us to all kind of experience this for the first time, minus a few guys to kind of go out there and learn from this opportunity and, kind of get better together. I think, down the line, I think that'll really help us too.
Mark said, obviously, you guys have been in some games in the last month or so where you knew you needed to win to, keep that 9 or 10 spot. Do you feel like you'll be able to draw on that, or is this something that you have a feeling is going to be so vastly different it won't be, sort of apples to apples on that?
I think the playoff environment will probably be different. Like I said, like you said too, like you don't really know until you're out there. But I think just from the overall season, I think in the back of our heads, the past like 5 or 6 games, like obviously we knew we needed to win them. But I think what's helped us a lot this year is that's how we've been playing all year. We've kind of been treating every game the exact same from a competitive standpoint, and I think that'll kind of serve us well.
Have any of the guys that do have playoff experience said anything because you do have such a roster that doesn't have the playoff experience? Shea, Lou, those guys?
Yeah, especially Shea. Obviously, Shea and Lou. Just kind of going to that. Don't be hesitant into stuff, and just kind of treat it like a regular game. Because at the end of the day, you're playing basketball, but I think competing just takes up a lot of mistakes. So just going out there and playing hard.